Okay, we're out here in close to Newberry Springs, California, about 4 miles, give or take. I'm out here today for the legend of Mrs. Orcutt's driveway. I saw this also on Sidetracked Adventures a couple weeks ago before I made the drive out here, and I thought it was something really cool. It was a piece of history that you wouldn't even know about. Anyways, Mrs. Orcutt lived on this property that originally was connected to Route 66. Then they built I-40 and cut off her access to Route 66. So she wrote a letter to the government and said, hey, what the heck? And they responded by building her a $4 million stretch of roadway from her house to an exit area for I-40, but would also connect her to Route 66. So we're about 4 miles away from the start of the driveway. I'm going to drive over to there, and then we're going to see the start of the driveway, and then we're going to drive down to where her house is. She died in 1987. We're going to drive down to where her house is, see what's left of her place, and take some photos. And then I am going to my hotel because I'm exhausted. Anyways, thanks for joining me. This goes to Explorations. Okay guys, here's the end of Ms. Orcutt's driveway. We're next to her house right now. I just drove 4 miles down at a speed of 25 miles an hour because the road is unmaintained and probably hasn't been used since 1987. So, 4 miles. Something else that I wanted to throw out about this road is that people had begun to realize that there was this uninhabited 4 mile stretch of land that nobody seemingly knew why. And so when people had realized that, they started to decide that they were going to come out to this property. They didn't know what was at the end of it. They decided that they were going to drag race on it. It was the perfect environment. They didn't know that at the end of the driveway sat a house where Mrs. Orcutt lived, and they definitely did not know that she had rumored to have shotgun turrets in her house. So somebody drove a car 200 miles an hour on this road. That's pretty incredible. I think it was the fastest land speed car is what they rumored it to be. Anyways, this is Mrs. Orcutt's house right here, or what is left of Mrs. Orcutt's house. And from what I've heard, that Mrs. Orcutt, because she lived out here alone, by the way, no less, Mrs. Orcutt also had a lake on her property. Now, being the fact that we're in California, where it is dry all year round, this lake, as you can see, is no more. I saw a comment on somebody's Sidetracked Adventures video that said that this lake was man-made. They said somebody actually was out here helping Miss Orcutt build this lake. So that's pretty cool. Now we're going to go inside Mrs. Orcutt's house and see what's left. As you can kind of see, the little box right there, that looks like a shotgun turret. So I'm going to walk on the outside of the house first, because obviously there's not a whole lot inside, as it's very dilapidated and falling apart. You can see Mrs. Orcutt's old clothing line over here, where she would have hung her clothes out to dry. So that's pretty cool. And then let's go inside. This probably was her kitchen here. As you can see, got the nice tile in here. As you can see right there, probably put a shotgun right there. So yeah, this is Mrs. Orcutt's house, or what is left of Mrs. Orcutt's house. As seemingly no one has been here for a really long time. Yeah, so that is the house. Okay, so that's the journey to Mrs. Orcutt's driveway. Pretty cool place. I saved you the journey of me driving all the way down and all the way back. Pretty, average road. It's not maintained, hasn't been maintained probably in a really long time. But yeah, really cool place to stop at and continue the drive. So next stop, Barstow for my hotel, and I can edit this video and put it out for you guys.